So you put a lot of trust in your parents, don't you?
Absolutely. The criteria, the filtering criteria is basically set by them. I mean, you may be consulted in it in terms of what your preferences are, but they pretty much decide the profile of the person who would suit you.
They want to make sure that the daughter goes into a house or to a guy who can take care of her well materially.
Yeah.
He's like well educated, has a good job, has a all those things in place.
So with your colleagues at work and stuff, how do you view the way that Western people date and have relationships?
You want to keep that option always, that you want to walk out of it, you know? You don't want to make that commitment, even when you know that this is the right person.
Yeah.
You're just so scared to get into a relationship. That's the way I view the Western world, actually. Very, very scared to commit and, you know, not being able to walk out. But in my society, I feel we commit first and then we, you know, make it work.
Well, thank you very much. That was really lovely.
Thank you very much.
Stuff.
We had a lovely time too.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Talking to them made me feel really uptight about my fears of marriage and things like that, because they were just like, you get married and then you fall in love and you build a life together. What's the problem? I was like, oh, but like that, yeah, I guess there isn't really a problem.
The next category to investigate for my contest would be smell. Now, I've always found the right man smell particularly important. What's more, some scientists suggest that approving your partner's natural body odour is far more important than we first thought.
How important is liking the smell of someone that you're attracted to?
If you really like somebody's smell, it suggests that there's a genetic link between their body odour and their immune profile. And if you really like somebody's odour, the chances are that their immune system is as far different from yours as possible. And you have the greatest chance and opportunity of having healthy children.
Really?
Healthy kids are a must. So now all I needed was a method for men to test my body odour without it seeming undignified. Step 1 in making my own perfume, work up a sweat. Step 2, collect a week's worth of liquid Dawn.
Wow, that's a lot of juice for one girl.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours. Damn right, it's better than yours. I could teach you, but I have to charge my milkshake.
Step 3, distill and purify.
Better than yours. Damn right, it's better than yours. I could
And there it is, Jus de Porter.
The only question was, would anyone actually like my concentrated odour?
Can you just smell this and tell me what you think? Do you like this smell? Do you like the smell of this?
No, not really. What is it?
Oh,
It's quite sweet.
yeah. Can I
water.
smell you?
Wow.
You smell nice.
Thanks very much.
I'm out to find out how important smell is to men on women.
It's probably very important. Yeah, it's important, yeah.
Do you like the smell?
Not particularly.
Oh, do you like the way he smells? Can I smell him?
Yeah. Well, no, it's near.
Oh, God! If you're going to believe what the scientists say, that if you like someone else's smell, then your immune systems are going to match and that you're going to have healthy children, then, by the results of today, I'm compatible with around 80% of the population, which I'm pretty chuffed with. It's a pretty good game. What do you reckon?
Inoffensive.
Inoffensive. Can I smell you?
Yes, of course. You want to smell?
He smells so good. If he didn't have a child with him, I would absolutely have asked him out, without a doubt. He was so sweet and charming and big and manly. Oh.
It had been a week since first promoting the Mr. Dawn Porter contest, and I was beginning to get a response.
I'm actually really surprised. I'm getting loads of replies. I'm quite chuffed. But I have to phone them now. I'm quite nervous about phoning them. I'm going to phone Dan. Oh, he hung up. Hi, is that Kevin? Hi, it's Dawn Porter here. I hope you get this message, and if you've got any questions, then, you know, give us a call back. Aaron, a musician. I swore I'd never go out with another musician. can't believe this is the first time we're talking. I don't care how you get there, just get there if you can. What star sign are you? Really? Are you quite clever? And you're Aries. What do you do for a living? I'm Aquarius. What kind of personality do you think you've got? No, I love sex, but not like hardcore like that.
Having screened out the weirdos, I was only left with a handful of potential contenders. I had to search for new ways of profiling the perfect partner for the contest. I'd always thought that horoscopes were just a bit of fun to fill a tea break, but some people think that studying the stars can help in the quest for love. I contacted Paul Wade, who uses astrology to help people focus on finding their ideal partner. Having given Paul the place, date and time of my birth, I went to find out if the results could give me any clues.
Whiplash, girl child in the dark. Comes in bells, your servant, don't forsake him. Strike, dear mistress, and cure his heart.
The first thing to notice really is that you were born on the 23rd of January, and this places your sun in the constellation of Aquarius. And I don't want to depress you or anything, and we'll come on to the positive stuff a bit later, but Aquarius is one of the signs more likely to be single. You like your freedom a lot, and you don't like people bossing you around and telling you what to do. It's not totally terminal. I mean, it's not like a sort of...
Single for how long?
Single for how long? Well, I think the important thing to remember is that it's a choice. It's important, I think, your relationships will be most successful if that person comes from a different background. Now, they could be of a different nationality, they could be of a different race, they could be of a different religion, they could be of a different age. But there is a strong sexual component to this relationship, a strong sexual component.
Is it based on sex?
I think any relationship that is based on sex, you need to give it a particularly wide berth, because I'm going to sound really tedious here, but sex doesn't last. It's got to be about love at the end of the day. It can't just be about humping.
So there it was, a warning from the stars. Don't get carried away with the humping. But I love humping. One benefit of not being committed is that you can sample as many fish in the sea as takes your fancy. The idea of being stuck with one sexual partner for life is very daunting to me, and I know I'm not the only one. Divorce rates in this country are at their highest ever, and the #1 reason for couples separating is infidelity. Of course I would want my man to be trustworthy, but with great sex high on my must-have list, just how loyal would I be?
I've been thinking about the whole loyalty issue, and I found this test online that basically you fill in all the questions and it tells you how likely you are to be faithful to your partner. So I thought I'd fill it in, but I'm going to be honest. How many sexual relationships did you have before marriage? Do you buy things impulsively that you can't really afford? All the time. How important do you rate sexual fidelity? Very important. Do you enjoy horror movies? No. Would you be interested in attending an orgy? Definitely. Do you believe that humans are naturally monogamous? Maybe. Okay, I'm gonna get my results. A? I scored 22. I have higher than average inclination towards infidelity. Capable of forming meaningful relationships, but also attracted by other potential partners and not immune to temptation. I guess that's kind of true. If so many people have this inclination towards infidelity, then why are we all so determined to be monogamous? It's kind of restricting ourselves and giving ourselves an issue if temptation comes our way. I just kind of think, is there not another option than just having one partner?
I set out to meet a family in Wales that may have found an answer to the monogamy issue. All I had to do was find a small town called Barry.
I've got to find Barry. Shit, there's like a swimming pool in the road. Oh my god. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god, we're gonna have to get out and swim. Oh, it's getting lower and lower, the car in the water. Is this even Wales? I found Barry, but I don't know where I am.
When I eventually arrived, I found the family in the middle of the biggest supermarket delivery I'd ever seen.
And so how long does all this food last you?
About a month. There were indeed many mouths to feed. There was Shayna, the woman of the house, her husband John, who didn't want to be identified, and their 3 daughters. Then there was Noel, Shayna's boyfriend, and their daughter. This was a polyamorous household. For 2 guys sharing 1 woman, John and Noel seemed to get on just fine. I wondered how Shayna shared her love between 2 men.
It's hard enough in a relationship to give someone the emotional support and emotional comfort that they need. How the hell do you balance out your emotional givings to 2 men?
It's hard. However, I try and explain it to people. When you're pregnant, you have your first child, you love that child more than you ever thought possible. Nothing could ever match that. If you get pregnant again, you go to have another child, you panic, you worry, you don't think you can love that child as much. Are you going to be able to, or are you going to be able to split the time? And it comes very naturally. You don't love that child any less. And I see it as exactly the same with the boys.
Right.
I love them both very much equally, but in very, very different ways and for different reasons and for different things, because they're very separate people.
What are the sleeping arrangements?
We have a super king-size bed. I sleep in the middle, and John sleeps this side, funnily enough, and Noel sleeps that side.
Right.
It gets rather warm in the summer.
I think I know the answer to this, but I'm just going to ask it anyway. There's nothing between you two?
God, no.
So this is a purely heterosexual relationship?
Yes, he's not my type at all.
Right, okay. But how does that work if you're all sleeping in the same bed and you start getting frisky with somebody?
You can't.
You don't.
Oh.
You can't.
Simple as.
John works away sometimes. Noel will go away overnight.
So you make time?
Yes, you have to. Like any relationship, you have to make time anyway. But with this one specifically, you have to make more time.
Right. Do you have kind of public displays of affection towards both in public?
We try not to be massively overt about it, because that's drawing attention to yourself for no apparent reason.
Yeah. How do people respond to you?
People can be quite hard, and they tend to, if they don't understand it, they'll react very, very bad.
Yeah.
I've been spat at, I've been called a whore and a slag, I've been quite nastily abused for it.
So how did the children respond? Or how do they respond?
Lots of families these days get divorced and kids have 2 dads, 2 mums. This is no different, apart from the fact that we actually all live together. And that is as far as they'll go with it.
3, that's a magic number. Yes, it is. It's the magic number.
Wow. I have to say, they were so likeable that I would find it very hard to walk away from them and criticise their situation. Like, they've got lots of happy children, they all really adore each other, everyone's really happy about who's in the relationship, it doesn't seem sordid and sexy, and they're so honest and open that, as though I know that being a poly isn't for me, and I know that, but I can't come away from them and criticise them for the way they live at all.